Welcome back to Family Music Life Deconstructed. In this video, we're going to be going through the beat breakdown for Heard It All. So what we're going to do now is break down each individual sound. I'm going to tell you my thought process on how I put it all together. So I started with this entrance part. I could use it to start off the song, and I kind of use it to transition in and out of verses, which you'll hear at the very end. So that's your familiar Sunshine Anderson sample. This right here, kind of, tie it in a little bit. One thing I did in the song were these vocal chops in between the verses that I feel like kind of tie the pain of the song together, as well as like the sample that comes on the downbeat, the second half of the verse, which we'll get into. So here's the let me explain part. So I'm using those things to accentuate the main samples. Here's the kick I ended up using. Straight 808s. I didn't want to get too fancy with it, so I did some straight percussions and snare sounds, which you guys may have heard elsewhere on Family Music Life, kind of like those similar style of drums. So this is what it all sounds like together as far as the drums. It really kind of sounds like somebody's about to shake their ass rather than rap about the pain of their life and their struggle and where they're from and everything. So that's a whole thing itself. So let me delete those. Here's the main sample that I ended up using, which is very familiar. I kind of filtered the high part of it. And then, of course, the second part of the sample, which ties it all together. And that's where you get that pain from. Like the first one is cool because that's your familiar one that everyone kind of, feels uplifted with. But that second one, that's where you get the inspiration and you draw from like the deepest parts of your soul, or when people listen to the original song, that's what they were really vibing with. Here's another chop that I use to accentuate. What you put me through, what you put me through, what you put me through, So I only ended up using one of them, but you guys will hear it. What were you thinking? So these are just more things to accentuate the verses. I've got a faded version of the main sample. And I use these faded pieces in the beat to allow yourself to kind of come, up and down the mountain and the ride of the track. So here's another chop that accentuates it. Had to shut you down. Had to shut you down. There was no way I could sample Heard It All Before and not use the had to shut you down part, because that's what they really, poke their chests out for. And then, of course, I got a second version of the faded one, which comes along in the third verse. I'm going to play the instrumental for you up next. Put all that together, and it sounds a little like this.
Don't you want to sound rich?
So that's how I made the Heard It All beat, and I really think it's a great example of simple sampling. I pretty much just broke down the parts that I liked, the familiar parts that everyone likes, and added, you know, a couple things that I could do to kind of spice it up in my own way with those vocal chops that accentuate, you know, different parts of the song I want you to feel. So besides that, it's gonna wrap it up. I appreciate you guys taking a look at this here video, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.